న్యూస్ అప్డేట్ కోసం ఛానల్ ను సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. పక్కనే ఉండే బెల్ సింబల్ ను క్లిక్ చేయడం మర్చిపోకండి. అప్డేట్స్ ని మిస్ అవ్వకండి.
Hi, good afternoon. Ms. Sagrika Ghosh, Karuna Gopal ji, Kali Prasad Gadiraj garu, Shobha Dikshit ji, Faizan Mustafa ji, the Vice Chancellor, Balkrishna Reddy garu, Amita Danda ji, Vidyadhar Reddy garu, Swathi Mathur, and of course all the wonderful women professors of Nalsar who are present here today, and to all the brilliant management students, both male and female alike, and of course all the press fraternity present here. Very good afternoon to all of you. On the occasion of Women's Day, I believe this conference has been planned, and it's a wonderful topic. India in many ways today has certainly progressed to just being a state where we still talk about women and empowerment, now to a stage where we can actually confidently say that there should be more and more women leading the change and contributing to the national growth. But then I'll have to be a little bitter to the people who are organizing the conference, the CMS, because why don't we organize conferences like this, just not in March but any other time of the year. Come March, all of us are busy because everybody from the channels to the universities to the governments to the NGOs, everybody remembers women only in and around March 8th. And we're only just few women personalities scattered here and there, and time is seriously not enough. But then that also is a serious lacuna, I believe, if we want to make sure we create an ecosystem where issues about women, understanding about women, where a true concern about women has to become a deliberation or a dialogue or a issue to be discussed in the society, then why shouldn't it be done year long? Why should it only be done in March? I truly, sincerely, earnestly request Sagrika and everybody else, because Sagrika gets to choose her panelists throughout the year, and she can also contribute by involving more and more women on serious topics, not only on Women's Day, because every TV channel I look at, especially the Telugu ones and most of the national media, during that 1 week of Women's Day, they only call women panelists and they remember everybody. That time people are calling me, ma'am, please suggest whom to call. I'm like, yeah, please ask me the same question in April, then I'll let you know. So, that doesn't happen. I believe that should change. I mean, I sincerely feel that, and I've said it on many platforms, that not only around March 8th, but rest of the year, when we speak about women empowerment, then it will truly happen and sincerely happen. And of course, I look at women empowerment and women leadership in two different layers. One, as a policy maker, what the government should be doing, what the lawmakers should be thinking about, how should we create an enabling ecosystem for the women to grow. And of course, the other part, what the women themselves should be doing and what we, all of us as a society, should be doing to work on women empowerment or, more and more freedom and more women to be in the workspace. We often have heard many people propagate this idea that, once the women are educated, then all the problems will be solved. When the women are literate, everything will be solved. I've been looking at various numbers closely from past few years, and it's interesting to know, in 1960s, when the literacy percentage of Sri Lanka was just about 40 to 45%, they could give a woman state head to the nation, to the world. Well, of course, as Sagrika said, maybe she walked into a powerful man's shoes. But then my question is, and all of us need to really think, do we ask the same question to the male politician who inherits their powerful father's shoes? I mean, do we question them? Don't we have leaders across the world who step into the most powerful father's shoe? Why is it a question when a woman steps into a father's shoe? This seriously has to be thought about. And at that time in 1960s, when Sri Lanka gave a women state of head for the first time in the world, since then till now, America's literacy rate has gone up to 100%, as they claim, but then they still don't have a women's state of head yet. 200 odd years into independence, most progressive nation in the world, They still don't have a women state head. So that way, I truly believe South Asia particularly has fared very, very well, where we accepted women leaders more easily than rest of the world. But then again, we come back to a question where yes, we have an Indira Gandhi. We did have many women speakers in the parliament. We did have many women ministers. But how did that change the life of a regular, common woman in some village of Telangana, in some village of Tamil Nadu, in some village of Uttar Pradesh? How did it change? And this is where I've been closely studying the lives of various women politicians, especially so Margaret Thatcher, since I really admire her a lot. When a woman gets to a position of a man, claimed by a man for so long, somewhere, although leaders are supposed to be neutral, a woman politician or a woman leader is forced to think like a man also. So then, now I'm an MP, I'm facing it myself. I'm a first-time member of parliament. And when I go to the constituency, yes, there are a lot of women who come to me, because they don't speak to a male politician so freely as they can speak with me. But then somewhere I feel, should I only be addressing the women's issues, or should I be talking about everything else? But why should I, as a women politician, be only burdened with also working more on women's issue? Because that is what they tell me. आप है तो ज़्यादा औरतों के लिए करिए. मैं बोल रही हूँ क्यों नहीं यार, मेरा male MP also has to do more for the women, Why should only I champion? I will, of course, because I'm a woman, I feel the fundamental responsibility. But why don't men politicians also take the same responsibility? I mean, these are not just questions, but these are serious issues. When we go to the constituency, we find that this spirit of working for women in male politicians is missing. So one more piece of advice, although unsolicited, to the CMS. Next time in a women's meeting or a Women's Day meeting, please have a panel of all male politicians and businessmen. That will certainly change. That will certainly change. You should seriously work on it. And I appreciate the Vice Chancellor and Sir bought a insurance policy for next 1 year. When you said, all our women professors are much better than the male professors at Nalsar. I'm proud of all the women professors. And also the gentleman, Mr. Kaliprasad Gadiraju Garu, he also enhanced the top 5 qualities of women, which he really admires, which are more, present in women than men. I truly admire you also, sir, for supporting women from your heart. And also, Professor Amita Nanda, I truly appreciate your point made, ma'am. And Telangana as a government and I personally as a policy maker also have been deliberating a lot about this. When we talk about women empowerment or when we speak about women reservation bill, what about the women who have zero political representation till then? How do we bring them to the forefront? That is a very, very pertinent question, and that certainly is an issue about the quota in quota issue, which is why the women's reservation bill is stalled for so long. And why not, ma'am? If there are more than 50% OBCs in the country, and if you are reserving 33% seats for the women, which ideally should have been 50%, but anyway, if you are doing a 33% and giving a quota within the quota, personally, I believe is the right thing to do, and that should never be an obstacle to completely obstruct the women's reservation bill in the parliament. And as Sagrika ji was also mentioning, it is high time we get the women's reservation bill, because maybe yes, first time or the second time किसी strong politician के बहन आएंगी, बेटी आएंगी, बहू आएंगी, it's okay, 1 or 2 terms, but the next term, you will have real leaders with zero political background also will make way into the system. So we should certainly have the women's reservation bill, and that is the promise of the current BJP government. So I hope Modi ji will try and bring the bill at least in the last session. This session probably looks like washed out, so at least in the next session Modi ji should bring in this bill. That will be one positive step. And I was speaking about education. When we look at, the literacy percentage of women in various societies, how we treat women, the most educated, elite class of society, how we treat women versus certain tribes with 0% literature or 0% education, so-called our kind of education. The women in those tribes across the world, not only in India, across the world, enjoy tremendous freedom. They have a choice to choose their own life partner. They have a choice to, live by themselves, work on their own terms. I mean, it's completely a utopian world that any educated woman, would desire for. And also, I have a complaint with women. We are educated, we understand the world, but then, given a chance, we still do not resist certain things. We do not voice out when we need to say no to certain things. Suppose one of your close cousin, or even you are getting your daughter married. We could be educated from Harvard, from wherever possible, but do we have the guts to say no to dowry? Do we do that? We don't do that, and we probably polish it a little, change the name a little, and we'll say yes, we'll gift it to our own girl. We'll put it in her name only. But you're still doing that. We don't resist it. I mean, until and unless an educated woman resists the social evils, how will somebody else talk for us? It is not possible. I mean, then what is the point of, you being educated, or what is the point of educating the girl child at all? If it is only to win the bread, there are many other ways also. And we've seen most successful entrepreneurs are not very seriously educated. Some are not. Most uneducated people also have made millions of rupees. So I feel an educated woman, once she has an opportunity, also should somewhere stand out and speak. And I appreciate Shobha Dikshit ji. She was saying she has a theory to iOS theory. She spoke about it's very nice, but also with a warning to all the young girls there. Do have these ideas in your mind, but don't give out your opinion unless you are asked. Then you will be branded as, dying, or what Sagrika was saying, that women can't certainly show their anger as much as men do. Yes, this is true, not only here in India, across the world this is true. In fact, when I became a member of parliament, I was thinking, abhi member of parliament ban gaye to, bahut kuch kaam kar sakte hain, lot of things you can do for many people. Well, now I know you can't do much, there is a lot of chains put up in the system, which, prevents you from doing a lot of things out of the box. But then yes, we'll have to be very persistent, we'll have to keep working for what you believe in, and we'll have to just never give up. And in the process, you'll be certainly angered a lot of times. And how do you manage the anger, and how do you save it for the right time will be a key. And especially more so when you are a woman, then you'll be unnecessarily dragged into various controversies. So for the young career women who are there in business and management, managing the business is as important as managing your anger. So please look at it. And one other important suggestion I wanted to make to the young business women students here, and this is about the pay gap issue. This is a trend across the world. Same job a man does and same work a woman does, but the amount of money paid is certainly not equal. And in all the fields it has been the same. Hollywood celebrities, many of the actresses have been voicing this out. But then where exactly is the problem? We need to understand that we'll have to be more confident, and when you go attend for a job interview and when you actually get it, do not shy away from negotiating your pay package. Do not shy away from telling them clearly and firmly what you are capable of, and how are you going to add value to this institution, and why you deserve this particular pay package. They say across the globe it comes naturally to men, and they do make sure that they negotiate the best possible pay package. And now if we are if we did get a chance to go to all these prestigious institutions, then we should not lose out on the last minute just because you can't negotiate. My sincere advice to all the girls especially, please do negotiate, please do voice out and tell them how important you will be in that organization. We don't have to shout on the top of our voices, but we should be able to make a firm point, and please do make that. And whenever we think about empowerment, one term everybody says is glass ceilings. Yes, glass ceilings exist, but how do we get rid of them? Should we break them every time? And I believe in a more subtle approach, where you slowly raise it to an extent where you can stand up. You don't have to break them and, create a halla, but you can make your point slowly by subtly creating your own space. And India as a society certainly is growing more and more accepting, more and more liberal in terms of, letting women force come out and work. But of course, as a policy maker, the most worrying trend is when a woman goes out to work, her security is not taken care of by the governments properly. So some women do drop out from jobs that they, otherwise could have done. In that sense, I would like to let all of you know, Telangana government has taken a very, very bold step called She Teams. This is done nowhere else in the country, and we've ensured that the working women get maximum security, and otherwise any women also can call and complain, and the She Teams is specifically watching out for you, being there for you to make sure that you will have a choice of work that you can select, and you will not be limited just because you do not have a secure environment in your city. So I believe all the governments, if we can work on the security issues, then more and more dropouts can be confined. And domestic violence is another issue. We should really gear up to stand up and speak up for that. And of course, the government should be more and more supportive of women who come in. I appreciate the central government who has taken some initiative where they have created these one-stop crisis centers. Now they are active across many of the districts, and there are many cases which come there, and that is a place of convergence where you have a medical help, where you will have a police person, and where you will also have legal help for women who cannot afford their own legal help. So this is a nice idea put forth by the central government and taken forward by the state governments. And another issue which most of us with grave concern do speak about in various international forums as well. Access to something as vital as drinking water, creates or stunts a woman of her time and opportunity. So Telangana government again has taken a wonderful stand. This is again a first time initiative in the country where 24 hours proper drinking water will be given to each and every household. So the amount of time that a woman has to spend to go fetch a pile of water from far away places will be gone, and the confusion, the responsibility and the burden of that will be taken away, and make sure that her day goes by peacefully. I mean, the government of the day should always make sure that the basic infrastructure is in place so that the women are free and comfortable and stress-free to pursue whatever they would like to do. So in terms of water, in terms of toilets, in terms of roads particularly have been a major issue across the world, where access to a rural area to the nearest medical help is not possible. Then there have been major issues, and roads have been taken care of in Telangana. And entrepreneurship, Telangana government has taken it to a whole new level, and Sagarika should be interested to know this, because usually governments speak about various stuff, but they do not commit to a particular financial amount to be given. So Telangana government did speak about women entrepreneurship and supporting them, and in this budget we have created something called as this is the first ever state-led women exclusive incubator in the whole of the nation, and this has been set up with a corpus fund of 15 crores. And through this, we'll be giving a grant, not a loan, to the woman entrepreneurs, starting from anywhere between 25 lakhs to 1 crore, to make sure the women with some groundbreaking ideas can make sure that they pursue their dreams. And many of these issues that I've spoken about, what should be done from the society side and what can be done from the policy side are all doable. But most of them, we just either take them for granted or only selectively remember them. So most of these issues, many of us know, but then we only selectively remember them in and around March 8th. So there is not much focus on resolving these issues. But Telangana government has made sure to remember these issues throughout the year, and we are working towards it. And I am very hopeful that the entire nation also will take this cue from Telangana, which happens to be the newest state of the country, and will be emulated across the nation. And once again, sincerely want to thank the CMIs for inviting me for this wonderful conference, and I really truly hope that this conference goes very well, and these students pursuing the management studies will have something very valuable to take away from this conference. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share. Follow on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Instagram. For more updates, please subscribe Great Telangana TV.